Hi, this is Nkechi from The Vent. I would like to welcome you to The Vent Craft if you're just joining me for the first time. I make it a point of duty in this channel to show you how to make lovely, unique Fascinator designs, as well as tips and tricks in your millinery journey. And I crown it up with some catalogs on new designs I create to increase your creative ability. Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make this gorgeous Emirate satellite flowered fascinator. I will be showing you how to make the flowers I used round the bow, how I attached the Emirate cap to the veil. This all came about by a fascinator that I saw, a blue fascinator. I will soon show that, yeah, this is it. I saw this fascinator and many people were asking, how can we make it? How can we make it? And I decided to do a video, not on the exact materials that were used, but the same method. So you can just ravage around your store and see what you can make. So before we go into that, let's see. We asked this question in our last challenge: what can be used to clean gum stains? And these were some of the answers we got here. Iron to remove my gum stain from Yetunde. We have Ando said cloth with water to remove gum stain. We have alcohol by Rebecca Udensi. We have vinegar by Solam Becker, nail polish. We have another vinegar and nail polish, petroleum jelly. Thanks for all the information. Now, in our Devent Craft Academy Class 2, you're going to see exactly what I used. I used nail dissolver. I think the alcohol content is much stronger than nail cutters remover, nail polish remover, but you see how I make use of it because there's also a trick behind it, and you also get to learn all these various designs over here. Okay, let's get right into today's training. So what we'll be needing is our Petercham, then the flowers. I'll show you in a few moments how to make these lovely cute flowers. Okay, then razor. Yes, I wrapped it up in the needle pack. And this is your small Emirate cup, then your uhu gum, then this piece I cut out from this mat. Yeah, please, when you know, in fact, pieces, do not throw any pieces, you can make use of them. All right, then we have our hat wire. I've already tied, and this hat wire is 30 inches, needle and thread, and our veil beside. Okay, so let's get into this. Is the flower garland. So all I need to do is pull out the flower and pull out that green part. Can you see the green head there? I pull it out, I remove the stalk also, and I have the flowers. We're not done yet, we have to put the stones. Okay, so these are stone trimmings, I'm sure you know them. So I'm burning the edges to remove the thread there. Then I cut a single layer, should I call that, yeah, a single layer, and burn the other side as well with my candle fire. Then I cut it, tying out one piece at a time. Then I just used my B6000. I rubbed on top at the back of the stone, and I placed it in the middle of the flower, and that's how I made my flowers. But the ones used on the blue flower is flower trimmings. Okay, let's get into it now. So the next thing I did was I used my uhu gum and I placed. Okay, so you put the uhu gum all around the hat wire length. Now this hat wire is 41 inches. So you put it all around the hat wire. So if you want it bigger, you extend the inches of the hat wire. If you want it smaller, you reduce it. Okay, so that's what I did. Then after that, I placed my veil on top like so. But you would have allowed the gum to dry a bit, not so much. Looking at it, you can see that I probably should have allowed it dry more than I did. But the way I did it, it stained the part that I was cutting out and not the part that was left. But even if I stained the part that was left, we already know what to use to clean it up anyway. But it's always good to be neat in your job. So that's what we're doing right now. We're covering it up like that, and we allow it to rest for a while. You don't cut immediately. Once you've let it dry up a bit and you're sure it's dried, then you trim it up with scissors all the way around, as close as possible to the hat wire. That's what you're doing. Ensure that it doesn't come out of the hat wire, so that's why you need to wait for it to actually glue. So I've done that all around. See it looking lovely. And then I take my Petercham and put uhu gum, and I place it all around the rim. Now you must have been wondering, oh, she's using Petercham today. Yes, usually I don't like using Petercham on my fascinators. I've not been able to get it to stay smoothly, as smooth as it does for me when I use bias. But with this rim, you know, it's best to cover a large surface area than a small surface area, especially if you have a lot of stains showing. I didn't have that much, but just to avoid that and for it to cover up firmly and good, it's good to use Petercham. Then I take my small Emirate cap and I put uhu gum inside. Notice you're not putting it on the tip, no, you're putting it inside the Emirate cap, just at close to the tip. And then I'm checking to see which one is my front or back. Once I get the front, yes, I place it on top of the back of the Emirate cap. Now I'm going to use my pegs to hold it down. Now you want to remove the gums immediately you finish doing this from your pegs, because you will have gum stain and you don't want your pegs clapping up and not being able to open up again. All right, so once you do this, make sure you wash up your eggs. So I now decided to open up the net a bit because it was already too tight for more pegs to be added. So once you open it up a bit in the middle, it opens up more space. So I'm done with that. It had dried a bit, and now I'm taking off the excess veil inside. So I'm going to use my razor blade so that I cut it close to the rim of the Emirate cap, and then I attach my Alice band. I'm going to cut out like 2 inches away so that it will be firm on the head and not be too loose. And I'm not going to cut it too tight so that the elastic band doesn't expire easily or fast. Then the next thing, I've sewn it already, making sure that when I sew it on the other side, you know how to sew. If you check the videos, you make sure that when you're sewing on the other side, the part that is going to show, you take it back through the same hole so that no thread is visible on top. Now I'm going to use my bias to cover up all those gum stains inside. Where I gummed it, I'll use bias. Now I told you I love bias at this particular point in time. Petercham doesn't work for me this way, but I'm sure people use Petercham and it works for them very well. But bias is what works for me. Okay, so I'm going to do it all the way around. Now that is done. Now remember this that I took off from the mat? Yes, actually this was what remained after I did a satellite fascinator with that mat, and this part came in handy. So really, in your millinery work, you don't really throw anything. So this is how you fold it to make bows that are extending, or you can cut it and do it bit by bit, but I just folded all and extended the other one. Now I'm going to sew it in and out just in that same spot. Don't carry it across because you want to use the flower to cut that side. Then this edge, you cut a piece of that edge and fold it inside and sew it also. So that's what I did. Yeah, you can see it's coming out looking lovely, and this is actually a less expensive. All the materials used here are actually less expensive. They're kind of like leftovers, sort of, not all sharp, but some, but it's actually less expensive than the original one I saw. So if your client is looking for something less expensive, you can go for this and still have it looking lovely, cute and fine. So you check on the dummy where you would like to place the bow. What would we call this 3 step bow. All right then, so I'm sewing it now on the Emirate cap. Remember this part now, I don't want it visible underneath. On top, yes, it can be visible because I'm going to cover it with flour. So when I'm taking it on the part I don't want visible, I take it close to the thread that just came out. So I sew it in and out like that, and I'm going to knot it on top because that top part is where I'm going to put the rose that I made, the flowers, those small flowers. All right, so we're done. Now it's time to attach the flower pieces on it. I did that, and I'm going to attach all around the rim also to be something similar like that blue fascinator. I hope this has helped anyone who saw that blue fascinator to know how to make that fascinator. Yes, you just need to change the net if you want the exact one. You don't use veil. They sell those nets and hats in where they sell things made for hats. Also the flowers, it's flower trimmings. You can get them where you have tailoring material. And that is our lovely design. Cheeky, isn't it? Then also the bow was made from princess material. Yeah, the princess material. All right, so thanks for staying with me. Stay tuned for the next video.